that Kimball said. My personal gifts, well, again, like Kimball said, as far as I can tell, and as I've just been trying to work through it, acts of service, and then some sort of teaching gift. And a teaching gift, I would think of words of wisdom, teaching, preaching, or prophecy in the way that Tom Short was talking about, that kind of manifestation. So I'm much more sure of the first one. And the way I discern these gifts really was just like Kimball said. I knew that as a young Christian, I was called to serve the church and to serve others. I knew I was called to be merciful. I knew I was called to speak the word. I knew I was called to do certain things, so I just tried to do them. And I have also discovered many ways that God has not gifted me, things He is not using the Spirit to do through me. But acts of service is one, and I know that mostly because I'm a pretty selfish person. And as Chris was talking about, this is a supernatural thing. I love things like comfort, sleeping in, things going according to plan. And when people have needs, it doesn't really work to any of those things. But I've discovered the bigger the need, the more joy I derive out of trying to meet it. Last night I was having a time with the Lord after Tom spoke, and I got a text about needing some allergy pills. And I happen to have 3 allergy pills for this person. And I'm sure they felt like, I don't want to inconvenience him or something like that. But that was an opportunity for me, in the midst of a prayer time with the Lord, to then actually to work my faith out right then and there. So it was a blessing. And I say a teaching gift. And again, if this was about skill, like a skill set, I would be really embarrassed to share that with you. My friends would probably be embarrassed for me. But and actually this relates a lot more to as I've worked out God's calling on my life, I do think He's calling me to the pastorate, so I'm trusting Him to equip me for that. And actually, unlike Kimball, as I've shared my faith, I've been a believer for 13 years now, and I got in early and was right into the Share Your Faith initiative evangelism stuff when I was about 13. And so over the 13 years, I've had 2 converts. Actually, more like 1.5. The other one I like to say he was mine, but really I just was one of many people working in his life. And I'm like, I don't